First of all, guys, what an amazing show. I absolutely love Bel-Air. And you know what? I'm partial to the original, but I'm really happy that we got this version as well. It adds to the legacy. First question I have for you guys, from the original series, what makes it so popular and beloved to fans today? And that's for either one of you.
I think it was a great family drama. I think they defined each of those characters enough that you loved Will, of course, but you felt like you knew a Carlton, you knew an Uncle Phil. All those archetypes really resonated as relatable. And even though there were a lot of jokes and they'd make fun of each other, there was love in that house and everybody wants to be a part of that. I mean, one of the things we want to carry over into our show is as you watch our show, we hope you want to pull up a seat at the table and have, breakfast with the Banks family, that you want to be a part of this family.
And even though it was a sitcom in the early 1990s, they took on and tackled as best they could issues that still resonate and are relevant today. And our hope in paying homage to that is to take a look at some of these situations and issues through a modern lens.
Absolutely. Now, Rasheed, I have a question for you. Morgan Cooper is phenomenal. He shot the original as a YouTube teaser. Will Smith found it. I got to ask you, what does Morgan's directing style add to Bel-Air?
Well, he's got a very clear vision, and he's got a talent that unfortunately isn't prominent enough in Hollywood, and he knows how to light people who have dark skin.
Oh, absolutely.
And he takes the time to do that. Mm-hmm. And so he brings that eye and he brings that vision to bear. I mean, you hear it in the music. You see it in the kinetic way he shoots scenes. It's all been very inspirational. Our job as showrunners has been trying to figure out when Morgan isn't directing, when we only have 9 days to shoot it and this budget and the limited budget, how do we achieve the same effects? Sure. And it was a challenge, but I think we've achieved it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And those Alexa cameras are amazing. They capture the black skin tone so beautifully. TJ, I got to ask you, Jabari Banks blew me away with his performance. What does he add to the character of Will that isn't necessarily on the page?
Wow. He elevates almost every line we write for him. I'll be honest. I mean, that is a talented actor. He is a once in a generation actor, in my opinion. I feel so lucky to have found him. Who he is as a person, natural charisma, swag, sense of humor, musical talent. You got to ask him about his musical abilities, singing and on them keys. He's a total package, and he also carries it with such humility and grace. And when you take all of those things and put it through his training up through, theater school that he went through, I just think all of those things combine to give us a star.
Yeah. Absolutely, 100%. Now, the soundtrack of this series is the best I've heard of any series in a very long time. Can you talk to me why it's important to infuse the show with songs rather than rely on a score? Rasheed, that one's for you.
Well, oh, sure. Because the music speaks to the people now. I mean, a score is something you can create, and score is very useful and very valuable, but you pick the right song and everybody's with you. Everybody has an emotional response to music. And so that's why it's great to have it. One thing I want to point out about the music in this show is that's the sort of thing you've got to establish long before you start shooting. That's something that becomes possible at a budget meeting. Mm-hmm. Because right. You've got to say, I know what you give. I know how much you allocate to music and other shows. We're going to need double that. Because we're going to need to be able to pick the right songs multiple times in an episode. And I thought what was great is Morgan's passion for that and his vision for that meant that TJ and I could kind of come in and help have that, what might seem like a boring budget meeting where you're going, actually, this is where we're going to decide how it's going to play out for the rest of the season.
When we came on board, he had playlists. He played us for every single character.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
You got to ask him.
Yeah. And by the way, and you listen to that and you go, oh, that sounds like 20,000. That sounds like 15. So let me just count up. How much are we going to need? I think we're going to need,
And in fairness, we do have some composers who do some score for us. Terrace Martin and Robert Glasper just amazing multi-platinum Grammy-winning composers who infuse this show with the same heart and soul as any sort of needle drops it would put in there. They're amazing.
I mean, Rasheed, that's incredible. I don't even think about a music budget per se, but yeah, I guess it has to go with the pre-planning of everything.
You can't. I mean, yeah, you can't just get something like that on the fly, because the answer will just be no. They'll point to the budget and go, you can't afford it. So you have to know going in, if these are things that are important to you, let's carve them out and let's make sure that everybody understands this isn't going to be like a normal show. Same goes with lighting. A lot of shows we've been on, you have call time, you're shooting within an hour because it's not very complicated. To achieve the look that Morgan wanted, to have that vision hold up, it was going to take 2 hours every morning. You've got to explain to everybody that's just going to be the way it is. I know you're going to go, are we still waiting for them to get the lights ready? Yeah, we're still waiting for them to get the lights ready.
You know what? But it's worth it because it's all on screen and it's a fantastic show that actually can cause a lot of actual real talks at home.
That's what we're hoping for. Absolutely.
I had my girlfriend watch this and we were blown away. She didn't even know this was based on the Fresh Prince originally because I didn't tell her. And she just fell in love with the show and the characters. So look, guys, thank you so much for this show. Amazing job. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.